Hello and welcome to this video tutorial. Today I'm going to be going over some of the basic aspects of logo design and some of the principles you guys should follow when designing your logos. To get started, as you can see, I've just designed a simple little logo here for the tutorial. The logo is for a fictional company called Water Corp. And I'm just going to go over piece by piece how I made this logo and the aspects that you guys should incorporate into your logos. So first up is simplicity. You guys should always keep your logos as simple as possible. Otherwise, they're going to look, really messy, really complicated, and they're just not going to turn out all that great. So simplicity is key most of the time. I'm not saying that, every single logo has to be really simple, but, to be safe, you want to keep things simple. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. In this tutorial, I'm just going to basically just trace over this just to show you how I made this. So we're just going to go ahead and open a new document here. We're just going to make it 500 by 500 pixels, 72 resolution, RGB color mode, and background contents, we'll just leave that as white. Okay, and we're just going to go ahead and crop over the wave here and drop it in there. Okay, so the second aspect I'm going to be talking about here is the icon of the logo. There are many logos that are just text, but if you are adding an icon, you want to have something that represents the company itself or the organization, whatever you're creating the logo for. So the company here is called Water Corp, so I incorporated some waves. And let's go ahead and just start tracing these with the pen tool. Let's go ahead and open a new layer. And we're just going to trace. Now obviously for your logo you might be creating a different shape, whatever your ideas for the company's name or whatever the company does. And we'll just fill that with gray because we're just going to... If you don't know how to use the pen tool, I do have a pen tool tutorial that you can watch on my channel. So if you have no idea what I'm doing right now, I recommend going to my channel and just looking at that. But as you can see, we've almost got this completed here. Okay, it may not be perfect, but it'll do for this tutorial. We'll just go ahead and delete that layer. Okay, so now we have our waves. Whoops. Okay, so we have our icon for this logo. Now we need to add some text. So I've just selected the text tool here, and I'm just going to write out the company's name, which is Water Corp. Now this is when simplicity comes in. You don't want to select a very complicated text. I'll show you an example here, such as something like this. As you can see, this looks totally out of place. It's going to look ridiculous. So you want to choose a simpler text when you are creating a logo, especially if you have an icon, because you want the icon to be the main feature of the logo rather than the text. So we'll go ahead and select the one that we had before. Now here is another cool little tip when it comes to logo design. As you can see, Water Corp would be two words, but we don't have to separate them. All we have to do is leave this, actually we can put this as bold, and we'll put Corp as light, and you can see it distinguishes the two words from each other. So it's a nice little simple tip on how to get a cool effect for your text. Okay, so next, as you can see, we obviously need a gradient on our wave here, so we'll just go ahead and add that in blending options. Go to gradient. Whoops. We'll make this dark blue, and we'll make this half light blue, just as the other one had. And then we'll make this to 0. Okay, perfect. Now, just so it's easier to move around, we'll combine these two layers. And there you have it. That is the basics of creating a logo. A few more tips just to keep in mind. One, you don't want too much overlapping in your logo, because you want it to be you want your logo to look good in any color. So just in this example here, I'm just going to add a black background here. And as you can see, when I change my logo's color to white, it's going to look fine. So this will look fine in any other background, any manipulations the client might want to do. But if these two overlapped, or if something in the logo overlaps, it's not going to look great in a monotone background. So you have to keep that in mind when you're designing your logo. One other important thing to keep in mind is keep the effects that you put into your logo low. I see a lot of logos with drop shadows and outer glows and things like that. You just want to avoid those kinds of. It just looks cheesy. As I said before, you just want to keep things simple. Okay, so this was the basics of logo design. Obviously, this didn't go too much in depth. I will be creating more tutorials, obviously, on logo design. But I hope this helped you guys create your own little logos. Hope you enjoyed. Comment, rate, subscribe.